Welcome back to our EOC review. Today we're going to be talking about factoring polynomials. So we're going to start by talking about factoring by GCF. To factor by GCF, we're going to find the greatest common factor that divides into each term, and then we divide. So if we wanted to factor 15x squared plus 10x, we have to decide what does 15 and 10 have in common. So I always start by looking at the coefficients, and I can see that 15 and 10 have a 5 in common, okay? And then I'm going to look at my variable terms. So I have x squared and x. Well, they have an x in common, so my GCF is 5x. So divide each term by 5x. So I'm going to put that out here outside of my graphic organizer there. So I have 15x squared in there. I'm going to say 15x squared divided by 5x. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and x squared divided by x is x. So 3x is what I get for that one. And then when I'm looking at 10x, I'm going to say 10 divided by 5 is 2, and x divided by x would just be 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. I can leave that. So my solution would be 3x. My solution would be, this would be factoring by GCF. So we pulled out a 5x, and then what was be left would be 3x plus 2 inside the parentheses, okay? When factoring a polynomial of the form x squared plus bx plus c, you want to find two factors with a product of c. It's actually a product of a times c and a sum of b. So we want to factor x squared plus 5x plus 6. So the first thing that I do is I go ahead and find my a value. A is 1, b is 5, and c is 6. Okay? So I want them to have a product of a times c. So we're going to say a times c here. So 1 times 6 is 6. So we want to have product of 6. And we want them to have a sum of our b value, which is 5. So we want to have a product of 6 and a sum of 5. So I'm going to start by putting my factors down. 1 times 6 gives me 6, but when I say 1 plus 6, I get 7. 2 times 3 gives me 6, but when I add them together, I get 5. So that's the set that I want to use. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go ahead and plug in my first term in the top left box. I'm going to put my last term in the bottom right box. I'm going to say 2x here and 3x here, since those are the factors that I found. And I know that x times x gives me x squared, then x times 3 gives me 3x, and x times 2 gives me 2x. So my factors are x plus 2 times x plus 3, or you could say x plus 3 times x plus 2, but either way works, okay? Now this one says factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. And I'm going to tell you that I use the box method, and I don't like the method that they use here. I do exactly what I just did. So I'm going to show you again where we're going to use these same steps that we used in this last one. So I'm going to shrink it down so we can follow those steps. Oops. And so if we are going to find the factors of 3x squared plus 8x plus 5, I'm going to label my a value is 3, my b value is 8, and my c value is 5, okay? So I want it to multiply to a times c, which is 15. So I'm going to make myself a t-chart. I don't really know where to write it. I'm just going to write it over here. I want it to multiply to 15, and I want it to add up to 8, okay? So 1 times 15, when I add them, I get 16, and then 3 times 5, when I add them, I get 8. So that's what I want to use here. So I am going to draw my box, and in the first box I'm going to put 3x squared. In the last box I'm going to put that 5 because that's my last term, and then I'm going to put 3x and 5x. So I'm going to blow this back up so I can show you what I'm doing now. So now we're going to find the GCF of each column. So I'm going to start with this column here, 3x squared and 3x. What they have in common is the 3 and 1x, okay? And now I'm going to say 3x times what number would give me 3x squared? Well, I just need the x because I already have the 3, I already have the x. I just need another x to make it squared. X times what would give me 5x? Well, that's 5. 3x times what would give me 3x? That's 1. So I have 3x plus 5 on the top times x plus 1, because those are positive numbers, on the bottom. And you could say x plus 1 times 3x plus 5, or 3x plus 5 times x plus 1. Either way, it's the same answer. Okay? So the first thing that you need to check anytime you are factoring is there a GCF that you need to factor out? That's what you're going to do every time, okay? And honestly, I don't think you need to worry about which form is the polynomial in. That's what they're asking, because there's different ways you can do it. All of the forms work if you use my box method. And then, so I wouldn't worry about this. I would just say use the box method. Okay. And then after factoring, check your solution by multiplying. And we're not even going to talk about the special cases because honestly, like I said, they work with the box method every time. Okay.